Most passengers over 50 think the biggest travel mistakes happen at the airport. They think it's forgetting a charger, packing the wrong shoes, or arriving a little too late. But the most expensive mistakes usually happen before you ever reach the gate. Airlines, airports, and travel companies are built around systems that reward people who understand the rules and quietly punish people who don't. By the end of this video, you'll know the travel mistakes passengers over 50 make most often, why they happen, and how experienced travelers avoid them without rushing, arguing, or spending more than they need to. And mistake number 7 is the one that can turn a simple delay into a nightmare travel day. Let's start with the mistake almost nobody admits they're making. Mistake number 1, assuming travel works the same way it did 20 years ago. A lot of travelers remember when flying felt simple. You bought a ticket, you checked a bag, you got a boarding pass, you showed up at the airport. But flying today is different. Now you have fare classes, seat fees, baggage rules, boarding groups, basic economy restrictions, app notifications, dynamic pricing, and automated customer service systems. 2 passengers can sit 3 rows apart on the same plane and have completely different rights. One can change flights, one can't. One gets a carry-on, one pays extra, one chooses a seat, one gets stuck in the middle unless they pay more. This is where many travelers over 50 get caught. They book what looks like the cheapest fare, but they don't realize they're buying the most restricted version of the trip. Here's the rule. The cheapest ticket is not always the least expensive ticket. Imagine a couple flying to Phoenix for a wedding. They save $89 per person by choosing the lowest fare. But then they discover they have to pay extra to sit together. Their carry-on is restricted, they board last, and changing flights is nearly impossible. That $178 savings disappears quickly. The mistake is not buying a cheaper ticket. The mistake is buying a cheaper ticket without knowing what was removed from it. Before booking, ask 4 questions. Can I choose my seat? Is a carry-on included? Can I change or cancel if something happens? And what happens if the flight is delayed or I miss a connection? After 50, comfort is not just a luxury. Comfort is risk management. Mistake number 2, booking connections that are too tight. A 40-minute connection sounds efficient, but airports do not operate on paper. They operate in long hallways, delayed takeoffs, gate changes, crowded bathrooms, slow deplaning, packed trams, and terminals that feel much larger when you're carrying luggage. Here's what many passengers don't realize. A legal connection is not the same as a comfortable connection. The airline may sell you a 38-minute connection because technically it can work, but that doesn't mean it is smart, especially if you need extra walking time. Especially if you're connecting through a large airport, especially if you travel with medication, mobility concerns, or a spouse who walks slower. Picture this. Your flight lands in Atlanta. Your next flight boards in 25 minutes. You're sitting in row 27. The plane takes 10 minutes to empty. Your next gate is in another concourse. The tram is crowded. One person needs the restroom. Now you're rushing, stressed, sweating, and hoping the boarding door is still open. When you arrive, the agent says, "Sorry, the door's closed." That entire situation may have been avoided with a smarter connection. For many travelers over 50, 90 minutes or more is often a safer domestic connection. International connections usually need longer. The goal is not to waste time. The goal is to buy peace. And never ignore this question. What are my backup options if this flight fails? That question matters even more if you're booking the last flight of the day. If the last flight is canceled, your small delay can become a hotel night, a missed cruise, or a missed family event. Experienced travelers don't just ask, "What time do I arrive?" They ask, "What happens if this plan breaks?" No. Mistake number 3, overpacking for control. Many travelers over 50 don't overpack because they're careless. They overpack because they're trying to avoid discomfort. What if it rains? What if the restaurant is dressy? What if the hotel is cold? What if my shoes hurt? That thinking makes sense, but overpacking often creates the exact discomfort people are trying to avoid. A heavy suitcase becomes a physical burden. A stuffed carry-on becomes a boarding problem. A bulky personal item steals foot space. And a bag you can barely lift becomes a risk at the overhead bin. Experienced travelers know packing is not about preparing for every possible situation. It is about preparing for the most likely situations. 3 tops that match 2 bottoms. 1 lightweight sweater, comfortable shoes already broken in, a packable rain jacket, a small laundry kit, a charger pouch, a medication organizer. The best travelers don't pack more, they pack systems. A medication system, a document system, a charging system, a laundry system, a comfort system. That is why packing cubes, luggage trackers, portable chargers, and compact organizers are so popular. They reduce friction, and after 50, friction matters. 1 disorganized bag can slow you down at security. 1 heavy suitcase can affect your back, knees, and energy for the rest of the day. Mistake number 4. Choosing luggage based only on size. A carry-on may technically fit airline rules and still be a terrible bag. If the wheels drag, the handle wobbles, the bag tips over, or the compartments fight you every time you open it, that luggage is not helping you. It is taxing you. Airports are full of small physical tests. Can you roll it over carpet? Can you lift it into a trunk? Can you fit it into a bathroom stall? Can you lift it into the overhead bin without hurting your shoulder? Can you walk from check-in to the gate without needing a break? Many passengers ask, will this bag fit? Experienced travelers ask, can I handle this comfortably all day? Maybe that is the real test. A lighter suitcase with smooth spinner wheels can be worth more than an extra outfit. A personal item that slides over your suitcase handle can save your shoulder. A bright luggage tag can save time at baggage claim. A luggage tracker can reduce panic if your bag doesn't appear. Small details become big details when you're tired. Mistake number 5, ignoring the airport walking problem. Some airports are basically small cities. A gate change can mean a 15-minute walk. A connection can mean stairs, escalators, trains, ramps, and long corridors. Many passengers don't realize how much walking is involved until they are already inside. This is where pride can become expensive. Some travelers refuse mobility assistance because they think it means they are weak. It doesn't. It means they are smart enough to protect their energy. Wheelchair assistance, cart service, early boarding, and airport accessibility support exist for a reason. You don't have to use them every time. But if you have knee pain, balance concerns, breathing issues, recent surgery, a tight connection, or a very large airport, asking for help can protect your entire travel day. The strongest travelers are not the ones who refuse help. They are the ones who plan ahead so they don't need emergency help later. Mistake number 6, not controlling your seat. A bad seat after 50 is not just annoying. It can affect your knees, hips, back, circulation, sleep, restroom access, and anxiety. But many passengers still treat seat selection as optional. They say, we'll just see what we get. That may work on a short flight. On a longer flight, it can be a mistake. The window seat may be peaceful, but if you need the restroom often, it becomes a negotiation. The aisle gives access, but you may get bumped by carts and passengers. The exit row has legroom, but it comes with responsibilities and restrictions. The bulkhead may feel spacious, but you may lose under-seat storage. Seat comfort is increasingly unbundled. Airlines know comfort has value. That does not mean you should pay every fee, but it does mean you should think strategically. For a 2-hour flight, maybe the middle seat is tolerable. For a 7-hour flight, paying for an aisle seat may be cheaper than arriving stiff, irritated, and exhausted. The mistake is not paying for comfort. The mistake is refusing to calculate what discomfort costs you. Mistake number 7, not carrying essentials in your personal item. This mistake can turn a delay into a disaster. Many passengers trust their checked bag too much. They pack medication, glasses, chargers, hearing aid batteries, compression socks, important documents, toiletries, and even car keys in a suitcase they may not see again for hours or days. Then the bag gets delayed, or the overhead bins fill up and the carry-on gets gate checked, or a missed connection sends the luggage somewhere else. Suddenly, your medication is somewhere, your charger is somewhere, your glasses are somewhere, and the airline says, "We're working on it." Experienced travelers keep a small survival kit in the personal item that stays under the seat. Medication for at least 2 days, a phone charger and battery bank, eyeglasses, important documents or photos of them, a snack, basic toiletries, a change of underwear, medical device accessories, a lightweight layer. Think of your personal item as your travel insurance bag. When things go wrong, that little bag may matter more than your suitcase. And don't pack it like a junk drawer. Organize it by urgency. Things you need at security. Things you need on the plane. Things you need if stranded. Things you cannot lose. That one shift can save you stress when everyone around you is rushing. Mistake number 8, waiting too long to solve problems. Air travel rewards fast action, not panic, action. When a flight is delayed or canceled, many passengers sit at the gate waiting for an announcement. They assume the airline will automatically fix everything. Sometimes it will, but often the passengers who act first get the best remaining options. When disruption happens, alternate seats disappear quickly. Customer service lines grow. Hotel vouchers run out. Phone wait times explode. The moment you see a serious delay, do not just stare at the board. Open the airline app. Look for alternate flights. Check if the inbound plane has arrived. Get in the customer service line while also calling the airline. Use chat support if available. This is not about being aggressive. It is about being early. A calm passenger who acts in the first 5 minutes usually has more options than an angry passenger who waits an hour. Mistake number 9, not using the airline app. Some travelers avoid airline apps because they don't want another password, another notification, or another piece of technology. That is understandable. But the airline app has become one of the most important travel tools you can have. It can show gate changes before the airport screen updates. It can send delay alerts. It can display boarding passes. It can track checked bags. It can help with rebooking. It can store trip details. You don't need to love technology. You just need to use the parts that protect your trip. Before you travel, download the airline app, sign in, add your trip, turn on notifications, and make sure your phone is charged. Also take screenshots of your boarding pass and itinerary, because airport Wi-Fi has a way of failing exactly when you need it. Mistake number 10, forgetting that travel days are energy management days. After 50, the goal is not just arriving. The goal is arriving with enough energy to enjoy where you're going. Many passengers sabotage themselves before the trip even begins. They wake up too early, skip breakfast, rush through the airport, carry heavy bags, drink too little water, sit too long, eat food that does not agree with them. Then they wonder why they feel terrible on the first night of vacation. Travel is physically demanding, even when you are just sitting. Cabin pressure, dry air, noise, stress, walking, waiting, time changes, and disrupted meals all add up. Experienced travelers manage energy like money. They spend it carefully. They choose flight times their body can handle. They hydrate, they stretch. They bring safe snacks. They wear comfortable clothes. They avoid shoes that are cute but cruel. The best travel schedule is not always the earliest flight. Yes, early flights can have fewer delays. But if leaving at 5 a.m. means waking at 2 a.m., but driving in the dark, skipping sleep, and arriving completely drained, it may not be the best choice for you. The smartest itinerary is the one your body can actually handle. Mistake number 11, buying travel insurance without understanding it. Travel insurance can be extremely useful, but many passengers buy it like a checkbox. They click yes because it sounds responsible, then later discover it does not cover what they thought. Others skip it completely because they assume it is unnecessary. Both can be mistakes. The key is knowing what you need protected: medical emergencies, trip cancellation, trip interruption, lost luggage, travel delays, emergency evacuation, pre-existing condition rules, cruise or tour deposits, international health coverage. The mistake is not buying or skipping insurance. The mistake is not reading what it actually does. For older travelers, especially on cruises, international trips, or expensive tours, insurance can be the difference between an inconvenience and a major financial hit. Compare coverage before buying. The cheapest policy may not protect the thing you are most worried about. The most expensive policy may include coverage you do not need. The point is control, not fear. Mistake number 12, trusting memory with important details. Modern travel throws too many details at you. Flight numbers, hotel addresses, rental car confirmations, medication schedules, gate changes, boarding times, passport locations, emergency contacts. Stress makes memory worse. Experienced travelers externalize the important stuff. They print a simple itinerary. They save confirmations offline. They share trip details with a family member. They keep medication lists handy. They photograph passports and IDs. They write down emergency contacts. They keep the hotel address accessible without internet. This is not old-fashioned. This is smart redundancy. Pilots use checklists. Surgeons use checklists. Experienced travelers use checklists. Because when something goes wrong, your brain should not have to carry everything. Now let's bring this together. The big misconception is that travel mistakes after 50 happen because people are careless, slow, or not tech-savvy. That is not true. Most mistakes happen because the travel system has changed and nobody explains the new rules clearly. Airlines have unbundled comfort. Airports have expanded. Apps have become essential. Connections have become tighter. Fees have become less obvious. Customer service has become more automated. But once you understand the system, you stop feeling like everything is happening to you. You start making better choices before the system traps you. You choose the fare that matches your needs. You choose the connection that protects your energy. You choose the seat that protects your comfort. You pack the bag that protects your essentials. You use the app that protects your options. You buy coverage that protects your money. You build a travel day that protects your body. Smart travel after 50 is not about doing less. It is about removing the mistakes that steal your time, money, comfort, and confidence. The cheapest trip is not always the best trip. The fastest connection is not always the smartest connection. The fullest suitcase is not always the safest suitcase. And the strongest traveler is not the one who refuses help. It is the one who arrives calm, prepared, and ready to enjoy the journey. Before your next trip, make a simple checklist of your essentials, your backup plans, and the items that must stay with you under the seat. Because the best travelers are not lucky. They are prepared.